It began with a flash on the sun, a sudden burst of white light, spotted by an amateur astronomer in a quiet English observatory. Less than a day later, Earth would feel the full force of the largest solar storm in recorded history. This is the story of the Carrington Event. On the morning of September 1st, 1859, Richard Carrington was observing sunspots through his telescope when a blinding flare of light exploded in one of the clusters. He had just witnessed what we now know as a white light solar flare, the first ever recorded. At nearly the same time, another astronomer, Richard Hodgson, saw the same phenomenon. 17 hours later, Earth was hit. A massive coronal mass ejection, a cloud of magnetized solar plasma, slammed into our magnetosphere. What followed was chaos. Across the globe, telegraph systems, the backbone of 19th century communication, began to fail. In North America and Europe, operators were shocked by their equipment. Telegraph keys sparked and caught fire. In some places, stations continued to transmit even after being disconnected from their power sources, running solely on geomagnetically induced currents. In one case, operators between Boston and Portland kept up a 2-hour conversation without any batteries at all. The sky responded too. Brilliant auroras lit up the night, not just near the poles, but as far south as the Caribbean. In Havana and Key West, witnesses reported skies glowing so brightly that people could read newspapers outdoors at midnight. In the Rocky Mountains, miners awoke and began preparing breakfast, believing it was dawn. The event stunned scientists and civilians alike. It marked the first time humanity realized that solar activity could directly impact life on Earth. Carrington's observation linked the sun's flare with the magnetic mayhem that followed, laying the foundation for the science of space weather. In the aftermath, scientists began monitoring solar cycles and magnetic disturbances more closely. Observatories like those at Kew and Greenwich started producing magnetograms, documenting Earth's shifting magnetic field. But many at the time had no explanation for what had occurred. Some even believed supernatural forces were at play. Modern researchers now regard the Carrington Event as the most powerful geomagnetic storm ever observed. Estimates suggest that if a similar event occurred today, it could cause between $600 billion and $2.6 trillion in global infrastructure damage. Power grids could collapse. Satellites might fail. GPS, aviation, and internet networks could be disrupted for weeks, possibly months. And it's not just theoretical. In 2012, a Carrington-level solar storm narrowly missed Earth by just 9 days. The threat is real and growing as we become more dependent on electronics and satellites with every passing year. There are lingering questions, too. Some scientists once thought that nitrate spikes in Arctic ice cores might link to the Carrington Event, but newer studies suggest otherwise. The real measure of its scale remains in the scorched paper of telegraph machines and the eerie glow of midnight skies. Similar storms have happened since, like the May 1921 event that burned down telegraph offices and railway stations. But none have matched Carrington's sheer force. Today, we monitor the sun with satellites, radio telescopes, and early warning systems. But despite our technological advances, there's still little we can do to stop a storm once it begins. All we can do is wait, watch, and remember that, one day, the sun could strike again, with no warning but a flash. If you liked what you watched, please like and subscribe. We post interesting and crazy stories from throughout history every Wednesday and Saturday. Yesterday's craziness, because yesterday was crazy too.